Welcome back to the channel. World Coins Master, another exciting journey into the captivating world of rare and valuable coins. If you're a coin enthusiast, a collector, a history buff, or just someone intrigued by the fascinating stories behind everyday objects, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving deep into the remarkable story of the 1980 60 Washington quarter, a coin that started with a face value of just 25 cents but has stunned collectors and auction houses by being valued at an astonishing $17 million due to a rare combination of errors, minting mistakes, and unique anomalies. This is not just another coin. This is a piece of American numismatic history that holds a place of high prestige and unmatched intrigue. The Washington quarter has long been a staple of U.S. coinage, introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, millions of quarters have been struck and circulated, bearing different mint marks, subtle design tweaks, and sometimes unintentional yet extraordinary errors. Among them, the 1980 60 quarter stands out not just for its age or design, but for the baffling and rare characteristics that make it a prized possession among collectors worldwide. Let's explore what makes this particular coin so valuable. We'll journey through its historical context, the minting process at the Denver Mint in 1986, known production volumes, and the many errors and mistakes that can occur in such a complex process. We'll also dissect the unique features that separate this coin from the rest, including its physical attributes, the anomalies that have been reported by collectors, and expert insights into why it's worth millions. The quarter we are about to discuss may have once passed through a vending machine, sat in someone's pocket, or lain forgotten in a drawer, but now it holds the power to captivate, mystify, and enrich beyond belief. In 1986, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. At the time, coinage was routine and systematic, involving advanced presses, stringent quality checks, and a highly controlled environment. Yet even in such a regulated setting, mistakes can happen. And in the case of the 1980 60 quarter, the errors that occurred were not just minor or superficial. They were foundational, rare, and for some unexplained reasons, extremely difficult to replicate. These anomalies ranged from doubled dies to off-center strikes, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, and more. Each of these has contributed to the mystique and value of this specific coin. One of the most talked about and studied aspects of the 1980 60 quarter's uniqueness lies in its mint mark. The D mint mark, signifying the Denver Mint, appears oddly positioned on some of these coins, sometimes slightly tilted or even resembling a different letter altogether due to die deterioration or overpunching. Such mint mark anomalies are among the most sought-after features in rare coins. When a mint mark shows signs of being repunched or misplaced, it indicates a deviation from the mint's usual standards, a deviation that can render a coin extremely valuable. Collectors and numismatists often spend years trying to locate coins with such features. In the case of the 1980 60 quarter, several variations have surfaced over the years that showcase striking differences in the placement and shape of the mint mark. These inconsistencies have driven demand, especially when coupled with other errors like a double die obverse or reverse. A double die error occurs when the die that stamps the coin's image shifts slightly between strikes, creating a noticeable doubling effect in the lettering or design elements. On the 1980 60 quarter, some examples displayed doubling in the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and even on Washington's profile, an incredibly rare and valuable occurrence. Another error that has been identified in some 1980 60 quarters is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly aligned with the dies during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or skewed. The greater the percentage of the off-center strike, while still retaining the date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1980 60 quarter with a 20 to 50% off-center strike and a visible date can fetch thousands of dollars on its own. When combined with other errors, such as doubling or a repunched mint mark, the coin's value escalates dramatically. Clipped planchets are another type of error found in this coin. This occurs when the metal sheet from which the coin blanks are punched overlaps during cutting, resulting in a curved or straight clip on the coin's edge. These clips are easily recognizable and add considerable value, especially if the clip affects a critical area of the coin's design. A 1980 60 quarter with both a clipped planchet and doubling, for instance, is considered a numismatic treasure. Beyond the errors themselves, another aspect that adds to the 1980 60 quarter's appeal is the quality of its strike. While most quarters are struck once, under high pressure, and released into circulation. Some exceptional examples exhibit extraordinary sharpness and detail. This is often referred to as a full strike, or full details coin. A 1980 60 quarter with full strike, brilliant luster, and no post-mint damage, combined with known mint errors, can achieve astronomical auction prices. It's coins like these that draw attention from high-profile collectors and institutions, driving the value into the multi-million-dollar range. The story doesn't end with the physical characteristics alone. Provenance plays a major role in the valuation of rare coins. The 1980 60 quarter that achieved the headline-grabbing $17 million valuation reportedly came from a long-held private collection and was sold to a renowned numismatic auction house. Its provenance included documentation from expert graders, error specialists, and historical appraisers who verified the authenticity and rarity of its unique features. This level of verification is crucial when distinguishing a truly valuable coin from one that simply appears unusual. Additionally, the coin's preservation state is a critical factor. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. A mint state coin, one that has never been circulated and shows no wear, can start at MS-60 and go up to a perfect MS-70. The 1980 60 quarter that reached the $17 million mark was graded MS-68, which is incredibly rare for a coin of that era, especially one bearing multiple significant minting errors. Public fascination also fuels demand. Once news of a rare coin's extraordinary sale makes headlines, interest skyrockets. Suddenly, collectors, hobbyists, and even the general public begin scouring their change jars and pockets, hoping to find their own million-dollar coin. This phenomenon, known as the treasure hunt effect, adds yet another layer of demand, making even lesser versions of the coin valuable. For the 1980 60 quarter, countless variations exist with more modest but still notable errors. These can fetch hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition and error type. The Denver Mint itself has a long history of both excellence and unexpected anomalies. Since its establishment in 1906, it has produced billions of coins annually, yet even its best practices cannot fully eliminate the possibility of error. In fact, certain years and runs are known among numismatists for their higher-than-average incidence of mistakes. The 1980 60 run appears to be one such period, where an unusual confluence of factors, equipment wear, human oversight, and metal planchet inconsistencies, led to the creation of one of the most fascinating and valuable quarters in U.S. history. It's also worth noting that interest in Washington quarters has seen a resurgence in recent years, thanks to high-profile auctions, YouTube coin channels, and educational content aimed at casual collectors. People are more informed now than ever before about what to look for in rare coins. From knowing how to spot a die crack to identifying doubling with a jeweler's loupe, modern collectors are well equipped to find hidden gems, and the 1980 60 quarter is often at the top of their wish list. As we continue to explore this remarkable coin, let's delve into some individual stories and cases. One collector discovered their 1980 60 quarter while sorting coins inherited from a grandparent. It had a visible die crack stretching from the rim into Washington's hairline, combined with a faint but undeniable doubling in the word trust. Upon grading, it received an MS-65 designation and fetched over $45,000 at a regional auction. Another coin was pulled from circulation in the 1990s and stored in a protective sleeve. It exhibited a misaligned die error, which caused part of the reverse to be stamped off-center. This coin later sold for $80,000 to a private buyer. Some examples have even displayed a type of anomaly known as a broad strike error. This happens when the collar die that shapes the rim of the coin malfunctions or is missing, allowing the planchet to expand outward during striking. A broad-struck 1980 60 quarter with high-grade luster and sharp detail was once estimated at $120,000, a valuation far beyond what anyone would expect for a modern-era coin. Other factors influencing the high value include rarity of surviving specimens and historical significance. While hundreds of millions of quarters were struck in 1986, only a minuscule fraction exhibit the rare combination of errors, condition, and provenance necessary to reach million-dollar valuations. Each verified example narrows the pool further, increasing demand and driving up prices exponentially. Just like rare stamps, comic books, or sports cards, these rare coins function as historical. Today, We explore one of the most astonishing finds in U.S. coinage history, the 1993 P. Washington quarter, a coin that has shocked collectors and enthusiasts alike with its staggering value of $13 million. What makes this coin so special? How can a piece of metal worth just 25 cents reach a value that rivals the cost of a mansion, a private jet, or even a small island? The answer lies in its rarity, the errors it carries, the minting mistakes, and the anomalies surrounding its creation. Join us as we dive deep into every detail, every flaw, and every unique aspect that turns the 1993 P. Washington quarter into a legend among numismatists. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over the decades, millions upon millions of these coins have been minted and circulated, becoming as familiar as the dollar bill itself. However, not all quarters are created equal. Some are produced under unusual conditions, with mistakes that escape the watchful eyes of mint workers and machines. These errors, whether in the form of double strikes, off-center prints, or incorrect planchets, transform an ordinary coin into a sought-after collector's item. In the case of the 1993 P. Washington quarter, several layers of intrigue and mystery contribute to its mind-boggling value. First and foremost is the P mint mark, signifying that this particular coin was minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint is known for producing coins in vast quantities, and in 1993, it struck over 639 million quarters. Amid such massive production, it may seem implausible that a single coin could stand out. But within those millions, this specific quarter was born under extraordinary circumstances. One of the most compelling factors that elevate the 1993 P quarter's value is the presence of multiple minting errors. Experts have identified this specimen as containing a series of layered mistakes, beginning with a double dia verse, where the image on the front of the coin was struck twice slightly out of alignment. This error causes a ghostly, shadow-like doubling effect on key design elements such as the motto, "In God We Trust," the word, "Liberty," and even the portrait of George Washington himself. Such doubling errors are rare, and when found in combination with other flaws, they dramatically increase a coin's worth. But the story doesn't end there. On further inspection, the 1993 P quarter in question exhibits an off-center strike, meaning that the coin was not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in an image that appears pushed to one side. This kind of mistake is instantly noticeable and highly desirable among collectors, as it creates a visual imbalance that sets the coin apart. Add to this a clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a mistake during the blanking stage, and you have a trifecta of minting anomalies that are almost unheard of in combination. Beyond these errors, the coin is also said to feature an extremely rare transitional planchet issue. A transitional planchet error occurs when a coin is struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination or year. Some numismatists believe that this 1993 P quarter was mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for a different metal composition, possibly from an experimental batch. This type of error is notoriously difficult to detect with the naked eye, but advanced metallurgical testing revealed a distinct difference in the alloy, setting this coin further apart from its common counterparts. Another striking aspect of the 1993 P quarter is the inconsistency in its mint mark. Though it bears the P of the Philadelphia Mint, specialists have noted irregularities in the font and placement of the mint mark. This has led to speculation that the mint mark may have been manually added or altered, an anomaly not typically seen in mass-produced coins from that era. If proven intentional or part of a larger experimental process, this irregularity could suggest the coin is part of a small test batch or even a prototype that was never meant to enter circulation. Condition also plays a crucial role in determining the value of any coin, and the 1993 P quarter in question is reported to be in near-perfect condition, graded as mint state 68 or higher by professional grading services. Coins in such high grade are exceedingly rare, especially for pieces that have theoretically been in circulation for decades. The immaculate condition of this quarter suggests it may have been pulled from the production line early, possibly by a mint employee or collector who recognized its anomalies. Alternatively, it could have been part of an uncirculated set that was overlooked until its true nature was discovered. In addition to the technical and physical aspects of this coin, its provenance, or history of ownership, adds another layer of mystique. The coin first came to public attention when it was submitted to a prestigious numismatic auction house, where it quickly drew the eyes of collectors, historians, and even investors. As word spread, the buzz around the coin intensified, with some experts dubbing it the Mona Lisa of quarters. The bidding war that ensued was intense, driving the final price to an astonishing $13 million. This transaction was verified by multiple sources and entered into the official auction records, setting a precedent for future valuations of era coins. The question many might ask is, why would someone pay such an astronomical amount for a single quarter? The answer lies in the convergence of rarity, demand, and historical significance. Serious coin collectors understand that owning a one-of-a-kind coin is not just a financial investment, it's a piece of history, a tangible link to the inner workings and occasional imperfections of the U.S. Mint. These coins serve as educational tools, conversation pieces, and symbols of a passion that spans generations. Let's delve deeper into the kind of errors that make coins like the 1993 P quarter so incredibly valuable. First, we consider the double die error, one of the most well-known and sought-after anomalies in the numismatic world. When the die that imprints the design onto a coin shifts slightly between strikes, it causes a duplicated image. These doubling effects can vary in clarity, with some being nearly imperceptible and others clearly visible to the naked eye. In the case of this quarter, the doubling is pronounced enough to be noticed immediately, especially in areas of fine detail, such as the curls of Washington's hair and the serifs of the letters in Liberty. Next, we revisit the off-center strike. When a coin is struck off-center, it not only creates a distinctive visual appearance but also demonstrates a lapse in the precision mechanics of the minting process. The further off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, up to a certain point. This is because the minting machinery is typically designed to ensure tight tolerances and consistency, making such mistakes exceedingly rare. An off-center strike that still retains most of the coin's design, including the date and mint mark, is particularly desirable. Then there's the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the metal strip from which coin blanks are punched is misaligned, resulting in a blank that is not perfectly circular. These clips can appear as crescent-shaped indentations on the edge of the coin. While common clips may not be worth much, those that appear on rare coins or in combination with other errors, like in this 1993 P quarter, can command significant premiums. Now, let's consider how the transitional planchet error plays into the overall rarity. These mistakes occur when leftover blanks from one coinage year or composition are accidentally used during a subsequent production run. For example, if the mint transitioned from a copper-nickel-clad composition to a different alloy and mistakenly used an old blank, it creates a one-of-a-kind coin. Such transitional errors have occurred before, famously with the 1943 copper penny and the 1977 D silver-clad quarter. The possibility that the 1993 P quarter falls into this category raises its profile immensely. Another theory proposed by collectors is that this coin may have been part of an experimental test by the Philadelphia Mint. In some cases, the Mint produces limited test runs to evaluate new dies, designs, or compositions. These test coins are usually destroyed or retained internally, but on rare occasions, they escape into the public domain. If this quarter is indeed part of such a test, it could explain the irregular mint mark, the unusual metal composition, and the overall uniqueness of the piece. Even more remarkable is how this coin remained undiscovered for so long. Hidden in a collection, overlooked in a safe, or even sitting in a forgotten coin jar, the journey of the 1993 P quarter from anonymity to fame is part of what captivates collectors. The idea that such a valuable object could be hiding in plain sight is both thrilling and motivating for those who scour their change daily in hopes of finding a treasure. For coin enthusiasts, and everyday people alike, this story is a reminder that incredible value can lie in the most unexpected places. It encourages diligence, curiosity, and a keen eye for detail. Not every quarter will be worth $13 million, but with millions of coins struck every year, anomalies do occur. The United States Mint, despite its advanced machinery and quality control protocols, is still susceptible to human error, mechanical failure, and material inconsistencies. These imperfections are what breathe life into the numismatic market. Beyond its monetary value, the 1993 P quarter serves as a cultural artifact. It embodies the intersection of art, history, manufacturing,